Hey guys, this is a follow-up video on my last update where my tank was completely covered, everything was covered with algae. Um, I had a lot of questions that I was trying to ask everyone to see like what people are doing to deal with that problem. And then it was easy, I just did some searches on some other people, and there's some other big guys out there who had a bunch of ideas. The main things that end up causing the problem are overfeeding, excess light, and if you have, if you have like crap in your tank that you're not cleaning out, which I guess goes back to the first thing, which is just kind of excess nutrients. Um, so what I did is I just cut the light by probably down to a third of what I would normally run. So I think I was running like 3 hours of light per day, and you would just be able to see, like, after 2 or 3 days, you were just watching the algae literally disintegrate on the. It was on the glass. I mean, if you just want to go back and watch the old video, it was everywhere. And people were saying, "Oh, do water changes and do this kind of stuff." And I was trying to do water changes, doing 50% water changes, and they were saying do more. But after I would do a water change, it would look great for a day, and then I'd be almost, or maybe 2 days, and I'd be back to where I was before. So my thing, I guess, would just be, if you already have the feeding under control, not too much, and your tank is relatively clean, then I would say cut the light. Temperature may make a difference too, but I didn't really have to deal with that. I mean, if you look here, my old school thermometer is, can you even see that? Anyway, it's around 80 degrees, and it's always between probably 76 and at the highest, on a hot day when it's hot inside the house, it's probably like 82, but then I'll give it a little air, and it cools right back down, so it really doesn't fluctuate that much. So that's my thing. As soon as the algae went away, the plants started kind of recovering and making up for that lost time, and really started growing almost immediately. Like, especially this, which you can see, this is, I think that's just Java moss. I think that's what you call that. But it started growing up this log, and now it completely covers the log. I think it has kind of a cool effect. I mean, maybe it's not for everyone, but sorry, let me try to zoom in here. See how it's like all stringy, and it's all down the whole entire log. Oh, that's kind of interesting. I think my shrimp appreciate that. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with things right now. I think I need to vary the color a little bit because everything is kind of like a bright green color. But maybe get some red, maybe some red plants in there, and maybe some really dark greens or something to balance it off. The other thing I wanted to mention was that I saw some videos on this Wallstead method, and that is all about keeping the tank as naturally as possible, letting the plants do most of the filtering work, minimal amount of light, not minimal light, but not, I guess he was calling it high-tech lighting. It also involved dirting the tank. But anyway, I guess that was another thing I wanted to bring up. These Eclipse tanks have have carbon in their filter cartridges, and he was saying that actually filters some of the dissolved carbon that your plants can use. And I'm currently dosing with Flourish Excel, so I'm wondering about that. That's one thing I think is kind of interesting. Maybe that's why my plant growth hasn't been as maximized as I want it to be. Just throwing that out there. I don't know if people have experience with just using basic filtering like a sponge versus like the super, high grade multi-stage filtering. I hope that I guess that's the thing. Like and what I wanted to bring up too is I just did a water change. And I don't know if this is what having a great filter does, but I noticed that my fish are much more, like, I guess I would use the word playful after a water change. And they will school. You'll see them school when normally they don't do that. And I see my shrimp running around on the ground, like, searching for stuff, and I'm not sure what causes that, but those guys are saying maybe you can get away with not doing a water change for a long period of time, a couple months even, after your tank gets established, and I don't know if I would let it go that long. I mean, my tank's, in my opinion, is pretty natural. I mean, all these live plants and everything, you'd think that I'd be able to take advantage of that natural filtering, but I do notice a big difference when I change the water. The fish just seem happier. Like, I'll notice that the cardinals will, I guess after a while, after the water hasn't been changed in a while, I'll notice that they are chasing each other around. It's kind of interesting. And I don't know if this has anything to do with that, but after I do a water change, like you can see them right now, they're kind of just playing around. I mean, I wouldn't really call this, it's not a big school, I don't have a lot of fish, but you get the idea. So that's the thing, like, all the algae stuff aside, I'm assuming that I figured that out, I guess. The other thing was the water changes, and I just wanted to see what you guys think about water changes, how often you recommend, or if you even recommend at all. I do notice for me that that's something that seems to make a difference. The other point is that my pH is pretty high, and there's something in the tank that causes the pH to go up, and I haven't figured out what it is yet. But that may be maybe when the pH drops a little bit when I put in that RO water, that may make the difference. Maybe it's when the pH drops and the fish get happy, and I'm not sure if that's the case, but that's the only other thing I could think of. So I think that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. So the main thing of the video is just to respond to the algae problem that I had, and my solution was cutting the light. And then just to summarize, the other thing was just finding out what people thought about water changes and how their fish react to them, and whether or not people really find themselves being able to get away with going months without a change. The other thing is the filtration, if people are using basic filtration or if they're using super advanced filters. This tank's only 10 gallons, so I'm not dealing with a lot of that stuff. Anyway, I just have, like I said, the basic Eclipse filter. But that's it. I think that's all I wanted to bring up on this video. And I was hoping to show off some of my new tiger shrimp, but I don't see them anywhere. I do see an ameno right there. Let's see if I can get him. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? There he is right there. You can see that. Oh, he's hard to see. He's way back there. Alright guys, appreciate the responses on the other videos. Let me know if you have any other thoughts or suggestions. Thanks.